Good evening, Roanoke.
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday to you.
Happy star kickoff of the NFL season.
Oh, yeah, that is tonight, isn't it?
It is.
See, I'm not used to that. I mean, even though they've been going on forever, I'm not used to the Thursday night games.
If it hadn't come across the news earlier, I'd have no idea. Especially because it's Kansas City and Detroit, I think.
Okay. Kansas City probably good, but Detroit hadn't had a team since.
It's been a while, since Barry Sanders, have they?
I think so too.
You know, but everybody says they're going to do something this year.
Hopefully they do.
Of course, don't all your friends tell you, Cowboys, this is our year?
Yeah,
every
they
year.
do, and I know better. I know that as soon as we get to the playoffs, we're done. But you know, it is what it is.
At least y'all make it to the playoffs.
That's right. That's right.
We're turning into the Patriots West, you know.
Yeah, y'all be a different name in a couple of years.
Exactly. We'll have a new home.
You'll be like the Sacramento
Raiders. Yeah.
So if you're just now joining us as first time, I'm Rob, local realtor.
I'm JR, local realtor.
And you're a pop.
I am a pop.
I'm a dad of like 42 kids, so eventually I'll be there.
Right.
I don't even know what.
You know what's causing that stuff.
Yeah, I do. We got a male girl. Now we don't have that problem.
Okay.
So how was your week? Start us off with that.
Just odd, really. It just seems like a roller coaster. Get real big, you know, feast or famine, like real estate always is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just the kids are actually in the rhythm of school, getting up for school, not as much, but
right.
You know, they're in the rhythm now, and yeah, it was all I can really say is odd. You know, just one of those weeks.
Right.
You know, but Notre Dame is 2-0 and somehow still ranked 10th.
See, yeah.
I don't know.
The Hokies won. I didn't think they were going to win this week.
I didn't expect them to either.
Yeah, that's one of those teams. That's one of those. Anytime they play against some of those smaller teams,
ODU,
they always lose. So I was glad to see that they didn't lose this time. So Lux, the man out of California, says hello.
Lux is back, man. We've been missing you.
And then he's telling us about he's a Cowboys fan and that Deion Sanders could have been a coach for Hokies, but he's not.
No.
Wasn't back then. He said back when since he's lived in Roanoke.
Okay.
They could have been there. My week was just hectic. It was like running in mud.
Right.
You know, I felt like I was getting things done, but not enough done, but I was busy.
Right.
You know, it was nonstop.
Nonstop, but you go, Jesus, that should be further.
Yeah. I think I was even nap-free for the whole week.
Oh, wow.
Like 0 naps, no, yeah.
Man,
Usually
we get too old for no naps.
Yeah, about 2 or 3. Usually I'm like, oh, my God, I'm just ready to go to lay down.
Right.
I don't, but, you know, no 0 naps, not even on the sofa this time. So
Not even by accident?
No. Freeze-dried a bunch of candy.
Nice.
And so that was fun. I think if people are addicted to candy, you need to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the taste testing, you're like, oh, is it crunchy enough? And then you're just like, oh, yeah, I don't want any more candy. I think I like the fruit better. So, yeah, I don't know. Had a lot of news as I started looking, just a lot of off-the-wall type news for the week in Roanoke this week.
Right.
They officially charged 2 people for the protest at Mountain Valley Pipeline.
The one from last week, and they picked up another one, didn't they?
Yeah, probably a helper. I don't know.
The person with the key.
Yeah, those people need to stop. You know, it's just it never ends well.
No, it doesn't.
It never stops that progress.
No, and you know, I'm not going to sit here. I think anybody that knows me knows my stance on it, so I'm not going to go into it. You know, but just let whatever process needs to go.
Right.
Let it happen. Let it happen. It never ends well for the protester.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree with that.
You know, because I mean, maybe they get the pipeline canceled. You still got the arrest on your record.
Yeah.
You know, it just so make sure you're that committed to it. You know?
Oh, absolutely, and most of them are, and 100% understand, them not wanting it to come through land, people's lands and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no.
That's the only way you progress.
Yeah, no, I worked on too many pipelines to be anti-pipeline, but I'm completely anti-eminent domain.
Right.
For it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you need to pay well for that.
Exactly.
Speaking of Mountain Valley Pipeline and protesters and stuff, Roanoke City is struggling. They have evidently a neighborhood liaison,
right,
that works with the neighborhood watch programs and helps set those up and
right.
different things like that.
Like that national night out they had.
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
about a month
ago. And so she works with the police, and then the neighborhoods, or he or she. Doesn't have to be a girl,
right?
But they're having a hard time holding on to one of those.
Well, that's what I was going to say. 3 months, it'll be the other.
Yeah, and what they've had 4 hires in the last 5 years, and everybody that has, and I can 100% see this. Everybody that, or the last few people that have worked, even the guy that was there for 13 years, it's a lot of work. Because you got to get the community to trust you,
right?
But the other part of that is that the city's vision and the community's vision they don't match.
Yeah,
and it's even a good vision on probably both sides, but they don't match for what they're looking for.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's hard to be a liaison in between those two because a lot of the communities don't trust the government or the police or what have you, and so the government or the police think they're just being butts, so they don't want to listen there. Just more often than not, you just got to get to the table, get both sides to the table, offer to go to breakfast. Yeah,
and I think the community leaders need to step up and work with the police, and even if there's not a liaison there. I mean, you look at, we hit, and I think we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but we hit, do I have it in here?
1.3 billion.
No. We had another death over the weekend.
Yes, over on Williams.
Yeah, 24th homicide this year.
Yeah.
So definitely needs to be something done in the community.
Oh,
and those community leaders, they need to be stepping up and talking to their community about this crap.
Exactly. And I mean, here's the thing: what kind of city do you want to be in charge of?
Right.
So you got to step back and go, okay, well, here's where we're at. How do we get there?
Right.
You tell me where you want to go. I'll come up with a plan on how to get there.
Yeah, and nobody's doing that.
Exactly.
I mean, that's and something really definitely needs to be done. I mean, we're 24 this year. I know that a couple of my friends knew one of the gentlemen that was killed over the weekend, and it's gone up. Our murder rates have gone up. But if you go on like a crimewatch.com or whatever shows where the majority of that is coming from, a lot of it's coming from northwest, northeast. So those community leaders in that area need to step up.
Need to do something.
Before we all die, what do we need to do?
Yeah, well, because obviously something's gotten in the community or something's gotten out of the community.
Yeah. And most of the people that are dying are young adults.
Right.
And some of them are 17, 18, but a lot of them are, 24 and below. Yeah. So definitely, I think they definitely need to step up and do something with this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I agree. Apparently, Goodwill is buying up Roanoke properties around the Melrose area.
Mm-hmm. So the Goodwill's in that big parking lot. It used to be a Kmart there, and years ago it may even have been a Hills. I don't know.
Right.
But I know it was a Kmart, and then Kmart closed, and they went in there. The library, or Goodwill, was over in a little store as you're facing the parking lot on the right. They went out of there, and I think they put a little library there.
Okay.
But there's also some other buildings around the parking lot that Goodwill's purchased. Okay. And I'm pretty sad because the old, the Maxi upholstery that's there on the corner.
Right.
That was in the picture and things too. So I think that's going to now be part of the Goodwill.
Goodwill.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is an old firehouse, I believe.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong there.
Yeah, see, unfortunately, I haven't been here long
well, it's
enough
been
to-
Maxi upholstery for as long as I can remember.
Right.
So maybe that's what it originally was. If anybody knows that, just
Hook us up.
let us know.
That's right.
Because evidently we don't. But good news for the Roanoke area as far as tourism. The Blue Ridge Parkway contributes $1.3 billion to local economies.
Nice.
And I believe that every time I'm on the
yeah.
parkway, it's full of stuff. I don't like getting behind the RVs on the parkway.
I don't like getting behind the bikes.
Yeah, that's
You
probably
know,
number
but
one.
I don't know where else I would rather have the bikes. By all means, ride your bike on the parkway.
Right.
Anytime there's a race scheduled, I get behind 33 of them,
Right.
that are practicing, and I hit them at every turn.
And a lot of times they're 2 and 3 and 4 wide.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah. And the driver in me is like, single file. But when I used to ride a bike, sometimes that's not the safest place. You don't feel like that's the safest place to be,
Right.
So.
you put the person you don't like up against
Exactly.
in the road part. Be like, hey, Bill, come up here
Right.
beside me, friend. That way you get hurt first.
Right.
Now, in my deranged mind, I've always wanted to open my car door on one of them that's being a jerk. Be like, get out of the rope.
I don't usually get that feeling about people on bicycles, but I have seen many a guy on a motorcycle where I was just like, all right, if you're gonna be that way, this is gonna hurt. Daddy always told me, stupid should be painful.
That's right. That's
So.
exactly right.
Yeah, apparently they started work on the River's Edge mural.
Mm-hmm. It looks good. I meant to go by there today and get a picture for everybody, but I think they have a majority of it outlined and a lot of it painted now.
Okay.
So it looks great.
Well, maybe I'll try to get a picture of it tomorrow, because going out to Botetourt,
For next week. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll try and swing by and grab us a picture
Okay.
so that we can have for our file next week.
Since they don't have I loved Victory Stadium.
Right.
That's, and it's just an old stadium, but I liked it. And let's see here. We've got, Roanoke authorities are looking for Jim Smith, 81-year-old 81-year-old gentleman went missing on Monday around the Orange Avenue area.
Yeah.
Still haven't found him, so they said, if you have any kind of storage shed that you haven't been in a few days, and,
Right.
Anything like that he would go to try to find shelter.
And just please, hit WSLS, WFIR, WDBJ, Roanoke Times. All of them have a picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
Look out for the guy. I mean, we don't know why he's missing.
Right. They said he was, when he left, he was just a little bit bewildered, or,
Right.
I've got a feeling he's got Alzheimer's and just kind of wandered
At
off
81,
and-
my guess.
Probably so. But so be on the lookout for him, and prayers for his family that he's found
Amen.
alive and healthy.
Absolutely.
Do we want to break into the top 5 breakfast spots now, or you want to wait?
Let's go ahead and get it out the way.
All right. So Channel 10 did a survey with their viewers.
Right.
And so I got it off of their website. They did a survey with their viewers of the top 5 breakfast restaurants in the Roanoke area.
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme weren't one of them.
Yes. You see, obviously a flawed survey.
That's right. They're only skinny people taking
And
survey.
you don't trust those people for a restaurant.
On those type of surveys, you should have to put your weight.
Exactly. Height and weight, body mass.
Yep, absolutely. So, and this is in no certain order. These are just the top 5. So they didn't rank it. This is number 1. This is number 5. So
Okay.
this is a random order. So Scrambled was on that list. I could agree with that.
I've been there. It should have made the list.
Yeah. So I 100% agree with that one. The staff out at Scrambled are awesome too. I've always had great service there.
Yes. Me too.
And then on the list also was our Daily Bread.
And I have never been there. You live close enough, man.
I
You
do.
should-
I've gone there a couple times, and there's a couple daily breads around the Roanoke area.
Right.
It's just not the one. But I've been there a couple times. I don't know that would be in my top 5 to go to.
Okay.
But it is good.
Yeah, because one of my top 5s, as far as a local joint, did not make the list.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And one of mine's next door, and it didn't make the list either.
Right. Yeah. Well,
So
I was going to bring that one up too. So.
yeah. Lux the man says scratch a biscuit.
And guess what? That was the next one we were going to bring up.
Yep, it's on there. Now, one of my favorites, and this is Selena's favorites too, is Chip and Joe's in Salem.
Okay, haven't been there.
That is wonderful. It's a little hole in the wall. It's probably not much bigger than our lobby in our office.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's probably the size of Waffle House, maybe just a little bigger.
Okay.
So not
Right.
it's just a little hole in the wall in Salem, but they have great breakfast, great prices.
Those are usually the best places.
But you have to get there early, or you just have to be willing to wait because they're always
Packed.
busy. Yeah,
Gotcha,
absolutely. And there was
gotcha.
some kind of rumor going around the last, I guess it's been a few months back, that they were closing, and there was all kinds of,
Right.
but they didn't close.
Yeah.
They're doing well. And then the next one, have you eaten?
I have not eaten at the famous toastery.
Okay, me either.
But, I've not been to 3 of these places, so, I can't argue that one way or another.
So we need to make that a mission then, right?
I think so,
Now,
absolutely.
I do know that on that scratch biscuit, they used to have a biscuit named after my ex-wife.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Was she a breakfast eater?
there could be a reason why I hadn't been there.
Right.
But
But,
yeah, I think I've gone to everywhere but the toastery and scratch biscuit.
Okay.
What's
Yeah,
your favorite that didn't make the list?
Well, at the end of the day, it's actually a national chain that is probably my favorite. It's hard to get me to choose not that. But, after the Roanoke definitely made it until they shut down.
Right.
But
And I think they probably would have been on the list had they been open.
Oh, I think so too. But that First Watch over by Earth Fair, very good breakfast, and I will say I will give them this credit. I went in there going, okay, we'll give it a shot. The grandkids and I had taken Gaga to a doctor's appointment, and it was orthopedic right there next door. Okay,
Right.
well, let's do this, something quick.
Right.
Da-da-da-da-da. And you open the menu, and again, I'm going to go ahead and name it. I'm a Waffle House guy. I'm not a
Fancy breakfast.
artisan.
kinda.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I open the menu, and I go, oh, Jesus, how did they talk me into this food? That is some of the best artisan French toast, or some of the best French toast outside of Mary's I've ever put in my mouth.
Nice. Yeah, you got that one, that Mary thing.
Oh, without a doubt.
You go in the house, you'll be sleeping on my couch. I'll have you help me bag
I just
candy.
sleep in the car
Have you helping me bag candy
in
at the
this
house.
parking lot.
But no, they are really good too. I think that would have probably beat out. I don't know. They're all good. I haven't
Yeah.
eaten at the other two, so it probably would have beat out one of those
I think so.
without me being able to have eaten there.
I mean, I think now food wise, First Watch may beat out Scrambled by a hair. But I mean, the food at Scrambled is just
Right.
really good. It is on point. It's much more southern than I thought it would be when I walked in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the service at Scrambled is hard to beat.
Yeah.
At a breakfast joint.
I know several of them that work there, and they love it. Now, Lux asked if we've ever been to Machaca, Machaca.
No.
No, I've never even heard of it. Probably not even pronouncing it right. He said they have a great breakfast burrito there. Is that in
Okay.
Roanoke? Or is that,
Well,
yeah. You have to let us know if it's in Roanoke.
but But yeah, I mean, I can't argue with those 5. I'm a scrambled or a Waffle House guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm in the area, I'll definitely do First Watch.
Oh, he said it's a dish.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I haven't. But I do like breakfast burritos.
Me too.
Now, I don't...
Breakfast I can just eat on the go.
That's
I'm
right.
in.
That's right. But...
Does it beat a Pop-Tart?
I do not like taco eggs.
Gotcha.
Oh, I do not want taco eggs.
Oh, they would have been good if you had known that's what they were.
Yeah. So just for those who are listening and watching, and I don't know if we've talked about this on this show or not, but it's been about a month or so ago. My wife made breakfast, and I appreciate that 100%.
Without
I'm
it,
headed
yeah.
to the office, I smell food. I'm like, oh yeah, she made breakfast this morning. Now I do have a weird thing that I don't like leaving the house smelling like food.
Right.
So if we have bacon or something like that, I don't like
Gotta
the
change
smell
clothes.
of bacon on me. Yeah. But so I sit down, I start eating, and I'm like, oh, what'd you do to the eggs? And she had.
Don't ever ask it like
Yeah,
that.
I know. I messed that one all up. But she had put taco seasoning on the eggs.
Okay.
And I think if I had known that taco seasoning was on the eggs, I would have had a little salsa and
Right.
maybe a little sour cream or
Right.
something in there, and it would have been expected. But I didn't know they were taco eggs, so I popped them
Right.
in my mouth just eating breakfast, and
Right.
it was a taco egg.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were probably good. They were probably amazing for what they were, but if you think you're biting into eggs, taco eggs takes you off guard.
Yeah, it did. It messed me all up, and I'm sure that I had this like look on my face, and
Poor girl.
yeah, I was just like, oh. But I think, like if I'd known it was taco eggs, I would have definitely added some salsa in there, and,
Right.
and made it like a taco.
Right.
We would have had, but yeah, just to have taco
Wow.
eggs.
Huevo rancheros, girl, I am in.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I was a little messed up. Like I said, it's shredded beef cooked in salsa and chilies, and then scrambled with eggs on burrito. That's right up my alley.
It does look like yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd be all about it.
Wonder if you could freeze dry those.
Probably not with the taco seasoning.
Yeah. Well, you can freeze dry taco seasoning.
Can you?
Now that's the problem we're having. Like when we go to freeze dry, like green beans and stuff, we add a little ranch seasoning to it, or we've added some tahini on them and stuff. Is that once they dry out, you've got the powder.
Right.
It goes back to the powder part, and
Right.
it just falls off your green beans, and so I've got to figure out how to get that to
Get those
stay
to
that
adhere.
way. Yeah, whether I'm spraying it with a little coconut oil or something like that. But
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, taco eggs were a little scary that day, just because I
Okay.
didn't know.
Gotcha. Well, you were talking about the 24 homicides so far this year. So the Roanoke mayor's talking about a new initiative to curb gun violence. You know, trying to call a ceasefire, doing victory in the valley, hoping to end gun violence in the Star City.
Yeah, they're calling it victory in the valley.
Right.
But he announced this, I think at the beginning of the week, and then he said later in the week he'll have more details about it. But honestly, just get out there and do it.
Right.
How long has he been the mayor of Roanoke?
Right.
And this crap going on.
And what does the gun violence look like now since you took over?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying it's the mayor's fault. I'm not putting it at the mayor's feet. I'm just saying.
But as a mayor, you need to be a little more vocal about
Right.
your city. And we promise not to get political, but this is Roanoke.
Right.
This is about our
Right.
people in our community.
And for me, it's not even political. For me, it's looking out for your community.
Yeah.
It's just home training.
Yeah. And I just don't. Yeah, I don't understand why he hasn't been more vocal in talking about that and doing things. You can keep a liaison.
Yeah, I mean, 24 in 8 months is what, 3 a month? Damn near 1 a week.
Yeah.
And I come from a place where 24 was January, maybe the first week of February.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, that's not Roanoke. it's past time to come out, say something, start a ceasefire. You know, I wouldn't give it a victory in the valley name quite yet.
Yeah.
You know, but I like your goal. I support the mayor's goal.
Maybe change the name to Good Intentions. In the valley. Luck said if we raise the cost of bullets and make them out of gold.
Huh?
Well, I don't know that we have much gold in the country.
Not in bars, I don't think. But then that gets into a whole big rabbit hole that I don't want to go into.
That's right.
You know,
you'll never be able to take it out of there. But I do think that the mayor needs to step up and do something besides.
Yeah,
hey,
and I mean, take ownership.
Yeah, and we're gonna have details later this week.
Right.
What the heck?
I don't know if you're aware of how quickly guns work.
That means he probably had a brain fart that night.
Right.
Announced it on Monday, and then he's like, "Now I got to figure out some stuff."
Right. Exactly.
I announced we're gonna have some information.
Exactly.
And so,
He got off that newscast, called his secretary, and went, "Hey, I need you to call."
We're calling it victory in the valley.
Right.
So,
It does kind of roll off the tongue.
that sounds good, but I don't know that you can call it victory, and I think that something should have been said a while back ago. And
Right.
I think
Before we got to this point.
and with that initiative, I think they need to probably put more patrols in those areas and things like
Right.
that too.
Right.
You know. Lux asked if Southeast was bad for gangs. Not that I know of.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know that there are parts of Southeast, and we're not going to lie and say that Southeast is great.
Right.
There are parts of Southeast, if you look on crimes.com or whatever.com that is, if you look there, there's a lot of theft over in some of those areas.
Right.
I don't know that they have the violence that
I don't
that
think
you
they're
see in
because
Northwest and
I
stuff
mean
like that.
Northwest is where your shootings are happening, but
that in downtown.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, everywhere I've lived, it's kind of like downtown is not where to go. Sounds like oftentimes in the 50s,
Mhm.
you know, 50s maybe 60s, you know, downtown was the place to go shopping,
Right.
da 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 da. But since I've been alive, downtown has never been the place to be after dark.
It's because we're old.
Yeah, that's true.
All the young people go downtown. They go to Martin's.
Yeah.
They go to 202 and things like that.
Right.
So it's just because it's past our bedtime.
That's true. That's true.
And it was beat into us that nothing ever good happens after
After
midnight.
midnight, yeah.
Yeah, and so
That's true.
definitely. Lux is talking about Indian River Village down in Southeast. He said that was a little rough, and that is it's subsidized housing, and actually that's where I lived when I went into foster care.
Okay.
Down there. But something good about Indian River Village is it's walking distance to Bob's Restaurant.
Okay.
Right there on the, if you go across, yes.
Where we met Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so if
yeah.
you go
Okay.
walk across the bridge there into Vinton,
Right.
then you have Bob's Restaurant there, and they have some amazing food at Bob's.
Yeah. I consider myself a burger connoisseur. And I always forget that place until you name it. And so I've actually got to back up something I said a couple weeks ago. The Daleville Tap House is definitely one of the best burgers
Right.
in 5 counties. But no, you're absolutely right. Bob's Burgers, yeah.
Yeah, I do like Gunner.
And I've only eaten there once, so that's what it tells you.
My 2 of my kids, Gunner and Carson, like to have their birthday dinners at Bob's.
Okay.
And so I think Gunner always got a double bacon cheeseburger or
That's
something
right.
like that. But yeah, I do like Bob's. Yep, he remembers when Deb's was down the street from Bob's Restaurant.
Okay.
And then they moved out onto they're over here on Brambleton,
Brambleton
now.
now, yeah.
And then he knows Bob's Burger or Bob's Burgers.
That's what I
Bob's
call
Restaurant.
it.
That's right.
I know it's Bob's Restaurant.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know the brothers he's talking about. Drivers are urged to prepare for heavy traffic as that on the Blue Ridge Parkway
For the fest.
for the
the
Rock
Rock Fest.
Festival. Yeah. And I know a lot of
Yeah.
people are so excited about the Blue Ridge Rock Festival.
Yeah, I just it's been a weird year, so I haven't kept up with who's coming or anything, or if I would know anybody, to be honest anymore.
I was excited about Floyd Fest because they had some decent people coming this time,
Right.
and then they had to cancel it because of whatever was going on with
Right.
all of that. I think it was a whole big debacle about that.
It seems to me there was a bunch of hoopla, and then it just kind of died off the news. So I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. So I think, and the festivals to me have, and maybe it's because we're old again,
Right.
but I think the festivals have really. I used to want to go to Lollapalooza.
Right.
One of the bigger things is I love the Chili Peppers and wanted to see them live and
Right.
stuff like that. But just I love music and I love going to those things. But now they've gotten to where they've got like 3 and 4 and 5 stages, and
Yeah.
like one
Yeah.
band's playing over here. So if you want it going and you're wanting to see 5 or 6 bands, well, they may be on different stages at the same time.
Yeah.
And so what you get is you don't get to see all of the you don't get to see
Well,
all the bands you really wanted to
What
go.
you wanted to go see.
And they're not cheap.
Yeah, because actually, I think the first rock fest that did that is the one I always wanted to go to, which was Ozfest.
Okay.
I think they started because they just had so many bands.
Mm-hmm.
They found out Ozzy's putting on a rock fest. Everybody's signing up to do Ozzy stuff.
Right.
So they ended up breaking off to 2, and then I think they broke off to 3, and now I guess you got like Burning Man and Running Man and all that.
Right.
And, what's the one they just had? Everybody got stuck
That
in
was
the
the
mud.
Burning Man.
Was that Burning Man?
Yeah, that was Burning Man. Everybody
You know.
got stuck in the mud, and everybody started getting like all these hives and boils. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know about that.
Caused a big hoopla with the state trooper barreling through the protester line.
Right.
I think they all started breaking off into like 3 or 4 stages, and I think that kind of just turned me off. Now I'll just go see a local band at Rosie's, or the one over here is at Brambleton Deli.
Coffee Pot. Because Bremerton Deli has live music every once in a while.
Yeah.
419. We have a lot of good local music.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Hell, we've got world-renowned recording artist
That's right.
Seth Custer.
International Seth Custer. I reached out to him. He hasn't put his schedule up for the week, so
He hasn't?
So we don't know
Okay.
where he's playing this weekend.
He's trying to be incognito.
Let's see. Luck says his friend does all the sound for the festivals and toured with the Chili Peppers.
Oh, wow.
And then he said Burning Man, just like Coachella, started off cool with the good local bands and indie, and it was free.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now that's exactly right. He said now the yuppies are paying $2,000 a ticket. That's exactly right. It's and I think the same way with Floyd Fest used to be. $50 you got a whole weekend ticket, and
Right.
now it's like $300 and $400 for the weekend ticket, and if you want camp or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's how we're going to make money.
And I mean, I'm as capitalist as anybody else, but yeah, everybody decides to price everybody else out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because 98% of the time, it's not the bands charging you out.
They don't
of
get
it.
a lot of it. Yeah.
They're not the ones pricing us out of it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Fishing. You got it?
Yeah, apparently they have closed fishing at all Shenandoah National Park's rivers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the heat has gotten a little rough on the fish, as it has us.
Mm-hmm. So brook trout is really what they're trying to protect.
Okay.
Because in Virginia, the brook trout evidently swim upstream just like
Like the salmon.
I do believe so. And so this heat's got them stretched out. Not a lot of water, not a lot of rain, so the water levels are lower than normal.
Right.
And so fishing on top of that could hurt the population of the brook trout.
Right, okay.
And so they just kind of cut out all fishing in the Shenandoah rivers.
Well, hopefully that little downpour we got this afternoon helped.
Yeah, unfortunately, those things they come and go really quick.
Yeah.
It's not even usually enough to water the garden. I've been like, oh, rain, all heavy, and then 3 hours later when the sun comes out, my plants are like, whoa,
Right.
Let me get some water. Wendy's is Wendy's is, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because we did the pumpkin spice lattes.
Yep.
Wendy's is jumping into the pumpkin spice
The
arena.
basic white girl season.
Yep. So now you can get your pumpkin spice frosty.
For the love of God, do not tell my granddaughters that. I know they will try it.
I'm gonna send them a coupon for free pumpkin spice frosties.
No doubt in my mind.
But so they've jumped in, and I listened to some show this week, and it talked about Starbucks pumpkin spice, and in the flavorings that they use, there's nothing pumpkin about it. So whatever flavors they use.
If I'm not 100% sure, I want to know the answer. I don't ask the question.
I don't know what they use, but evidently it's not. There's nothing pumpkin about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think they actually kept their ingredients list. What they put in, because like Dunkin' Donuts tell you exactly what's in their coffee.
Right.
And then a lot of Starbucks you can find, it's got 3 pumps of that and 4 pumps of whatever.
Right.
I always feel weird when I'm ordering. Let me get a blah blah blah. For me, it's just let me get a coffee.
Right. Y'all still sell coffee
the size
here.
is still, Selena actually, the one down the street from us, the Oak Grove one, she actually didn't get in an argument, but the lady kept trying to argue with her. Selena can't do caffeine.
Okay.
It makes her jittery.
Right.
She has anxiety, so that amps up her anxiety too.
Right.
Which most people it does. So she asked for some kind of decaf something or another. And the lady's like, we don't have decaf coffee here. And she's like, well, something without caffeine. Well, everything has Everything has caffeine in it.
Thank
My
you.
wife,
Bye.
that's exactly what she did. She goes, and she just pulled it on out of there. She will never go back there.
Right.
If you have a decaf, just tell me. I've got decaf this.
Right.
I can make it out of decaf whatever.
Right.
And that's great, but don't argue with me. Everything's got caffeine in it.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like, man.
Okay, fine. Don't sell me anything.
Yeah. And so she pulled out. She will never, because of that and her anxiety and all that, she will never ever go back to that.
And depending on the day, I'm exactly with her. It takes that one, especially if I'm already having a stressful morning,
mm-hmm.
and you decide to push my butthole button. I don't know. If I ever enter your drive-through again, it'll be because the EMTs on this ambulance,
right?
Just decided to swing on through. I'm not driving through.
Yeah, but don't argue with you about that.
Yeah,
everything's got
caffeine.
So,
guess what you about to have in you?
Yeah, I'm out of here. I was like, I'll call up there. Who I need to speak to? She's like, no, don't. I'm like, I'll call them. She's like, no, I'm just not going back there.
Yeah, because don't mess with my wife, dude.
Well,
you done sent her home, and now I got to deal with what you created.
So Lux has a question for you.
Uh-oh.
He wants to know where that butthole button is. Your butthole button.
It's usually right back here. And it's just, if you can already tell I'm stressed and you decide to ask me a stupid question or, act like I'm the dumbest person you ever met, that's where my butthole button is.
He said if you go to Cali, don't say that, especially in West Hollywood.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
We went from 5 viewers to just Lux and us now. So we can sing that song, I Think We're Alone Now.
I'm sorry.
I think I see this next trend probably going to all events.
Yeah.
Well,
we've mentioned it.
Yeah, well, Tech
to
just implemented
everything
it.
now, yeah.
Tech just implemented it this year at their football games.
Salem Fair had it.
The Salem Fair had it, but the Roanoke City schools or whatever,
Right.
Any ticketed event for them now,
Right.
You have to have a clear backpack if you're going in with a backpack.
Gotcha.
And I can see that going valley-wide, and I can see it,
Right.
it just makes sense.
It kind of does. I understand how irritating it can be, but you're in an area that didn't used to have 24 shootings a year. Now you got 24 in 8 months.
Right. I mean, it's not like
know,
Chicago where you're 54 in a weekend. But
exactly.
It's still not good for this area.
And if you don't nip it in the bud at 24,
Mhm.
you end up with 56 a week.
And so I think, the clear backpacks are a good option unless you just, want to roll that gun up under that fat roll. Under that fat roll, like
right.
the girl out of...
I think it was Chicago.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. She put that gun right up under that fat roll.
Yeah.
Well, where did you have that, Kelly? Let's see here. We've got...
So the Department of Justice decided to contact the county school board.
Yeah.
Do you want us to help?
Yeah, let me talk about that. So evidently, and we've talked about this on our show the last couple weeks. A couple weeks ago, they had 2 people arrested because they didn't like the outcome of.
They didn't like the state Department of Education trans rules or the privacy rules, because Roanoke County, if a kid decides they identify as something other than what
they were born as,
or they identify as at home, Roanoke County will tell or in the Commonwealth of Virginia, it is Department of Education policy to alert the parents.
Yeah, and so there were 2 people arrested for that.
Right.
And then
I think 3 altogether, because they had 2 at one meeting, and then the following week they had another one.
We talked about it being 50% down because the next person, and that one was, and I don't know if it was the same argument, but that one they made the rule to where if you don't have a student going to the thing,
right.
if you don't live in Roanoke County, then you can't speak at those meetings.
Right.
And I'm 100% with that.
Oh, without a doubt.
With the drama with the school boards and stuff, the Department of Justice has reached out and said, hey, if you need us to help mediate this for you, we'll be happy to do that with you, and since the tensions are high in the community.
Right.
And so Roanoke County School Board said, thank you, but no thank you. We have it taken care of. That they actually talk to the rules that they make and the things they decide are a majority type thing, not a minority type thing.
Right.
And that's the way it should be.
Exactly.
And so they've come out and said, hey, no, we're good. And then evidently 2 of our elected officials, delegates or congresspeople, or for our state they've written a letter to the DOJ? To the county going, hey, good job.
Oh, okay.
Good job keeping federal out of it.
Nice.
This is our community and our people. Right. And so they've reached out and said, hey, you did a great job.
Well, good.
So
good
I think that's 100% the right thing to do.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. All right. So do you have a link as far as how you can transfer your car title online through the DMV?
I don't. You just go to the DMV. I always have to Google Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles to go do anything on there. But evidently, so now you can go online and transfer title. There's some rules with it, though.
Okay.
So some of the rules, you have to be a Virginia resident, both of you.
Okay.
Has to be personal sales. So between me and you, it can't be a company, it has to be between 2 people. And then, what was the other? oh, you can't have a suspended license or anything like that, trying to get a title. And then I think that was pretty much it.
Right.
Okay. And you can go and do the title stuff online now.
Oh, nice.
Which is awesome. And honestly, I used to hate going to DMV. I'd go out there and spend 4 or 5 hours waiting.
Right.
I don't know what they've done here lately, but the last couple times I've been at DMV, I've been in and out in 15, 20 minutes.
Well, I think people having to make appointments during COVID shut down a whole lot of, oh, it's the first of the month, I got to get out there.
Yep.
You know, people, as much, as poorly as I will talk about how, some of those things were run, I think it did cool people off to DMV, because I swear I used to despise DMV.
Yeah, you go at the
maybe,
first
maybe it's
end of the
because I'm
month.
getting older. You keep bringing that up.
Yep. But I think also they've changed like our driver's license to where it expires on your birthday or something like that instead
Right.
of end of the month, first of the month type thing.
Right.
I think that kind of helps too.
Yeah.
So we got to call this one out here. We've kind of traded places tonight.
On.
I feel half naked.
Uh.
I 100% always wear a t-shirt. So
Right.
today I was like, you know what? I got this new Hawaiian shirt. I'm not going to wear a t-shirt under it because the t-shirt shows up here. And I was like, And I was like, nah. But yeah, I'm comfortable. Either that or I just need to grow some hair right here.
Right.
I'm good. And then tonight you got on a t-shirt.
Hey, leave my 7 chest hairs alone, man.
And tonight you're rocking the t-shirt under there.
I am.
I'm like, oh, we traded places.
Well, I used to always do this, and then as I started putting on weight, everything just seemed tight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to get back to who I was.
Yep. Somebody asked on Facebook the other day, do people still wear the 2 t-shirts?
No.
I do all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, like when I wear a t-shirt, I have a t-shirt under it.
Okay.
And the reason why I do it has nothing to do with fashion. I mean,
Right.
I don't wear the short sleeve with the long sleeve under.
Right.
But I sweat. And so that
Right.
first t-shirt, it's just a white t-shirt, but the first t-shirt catches my sweat so that it doesn't leak on my other shirt.
Okay.
So I'm not walking around with big old sweat stains and stuff.
Yeah, that was a thing I never really got into.
And probably nobody even wanted to hear that. It's 2 old guys talking about a water cooler in the office.
Right.
But yeah, I'm like, oh man, I don't like this.
Right.
So next week I'll
So
have a t-shirt.
if there's anybody other than Lux on here, do we want to go?
Oh yeah, let's rock
Go ahead and
this.
do that, and that way they can give it some idea while we go through our things to do.
Yellow or blue?
I will do blue. I will do yellow.
Yellow. All right. So here we go. Lux, I don't know if you've watched it doesn't zoom in like that. I don't know if you've watched our podcast, but I got a freeze dryer, and so I've been freeze drying everything. And so I've been making a bunch of different candies and stuff with the freeze dryer. And so we're giving away $25 if somebody can guess what we're munching on tonight.
What did Rob freeze dry today?
That's right. So these are the 2 items. His tastes like buttered popcorn.
It does.
Anybody got a guess? And then mine's cotton candy.
Oh, that's dangerous. That is real dangerous.
And it does not have a crunch like last week's had a crunch because we did the Jolly Ranchers last week.
Right.
This one doesn't have a crunch to it. When you put it in your mouth, it just melts.
Yeah.
So does anybody have
Oh my goodness.
a guess on that? Oh, Gus is with us now. What's up, Mr.
Nice.
Gus?
Gus is back. The family's back together.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. So Lux has 2 guess, or Lux has a guess, bonbons. He said bonbobs, then he came back and said bonbons. Little Bit said Jelly Bellies. Hey Gus, do you have a guess on what we just ate? So what do you think about that?
Oh, I am in. I need a bag of that.
Gus said he almost forgot about us again. He's been watching the replays, but we
Yeah,
much rather have him
Mary's
here.
got a coworker or 2 at work that was telling her she rarely sees us on Thursday, but she watches us every week.
Nice,
So.
nice. Well, this week she gets to hear about your butthole, Bert.
Yeah,
me
yeah.
not wearing a T-shirt.
I was trying not to say the bad one. Sorry.
So, Gus says Jolly Ranchers.
Nope, that was last week.
It is saltwater taffy.
Yep.
And
that's...
it just, when you pop it in your mouth, it just melts.
It does. Yeah, don't even put that thing near your teeth. Just throw that straight to your tongue.
Yeah, and it just melts away.
Oh,
so super good.
stuff.
So we hit, good Lord, we hit Kroger the other day, and they were on sale and some other things. So we loaded up
right
for our freeze dryer. So, but it was super yummy.
Oh,
They have a bubblegum flavor and all kinds of different, they come in a mixed bag of different flavors.
right.
I think it would cost me too much to go, okay, I want just these cherries. Unless I go to down in Myrtle Beach, they have a taffy store.
Yeah.
Then that's where you could go, okay, we're going to just do
I know
these.
Virginia Beach used to have Forbes
Okay.
saltwater taffy.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, the taffy is unbelievable.
That is good stuff. Yeah.
So
and I mean saltwater, not your Laffy Taffy.
Luck said we are animated tonight. And then he's going to come down one Friday and catch me in McAdoo's.
Nice.
Cool. Well, usually I'm out of there by 9 o'clock on Friday nights.
Right.
So just if you come on, I'll be at the bar slinging drinks. Now, I do want to show you these, and this is what we were going to do tonight. As far as the freeze drying, is we were going to do these, but
we both thought it might be a
I
little.
bet money that you would 100% guess without me even. So what do you think that one is? Anybody know? And it's got a heck of a crunch too. Makes a mess. There it is. See, we knew. Little Big got it right away.
Man, you got grandkids at the house. You know what all that stuff looks like.
Look, said wax candy. That makes your mouth water. Hard to talk. Yeah, gummy worms. So they're even the little mini ones. And so when you put them in, they grow and get all puffy and chewy. I like them better like that. They don't get stuck in your teeth as much.
That's what I was going to say about this stuff. I used to have the best teeth in Tidewater. Now I've got the worst teeth on the East Coast. I swear I look like, I don't do a whole lot of smiling because I don't want to show my teeth anymore. But this stuff, it doesn't leave anything in your teeth.
Mm-mm.
That's the big seller on this candy for me.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, all of them you've given.
Yeah, it's good. I think the what surprised me was like the candy corn. That one was a surprise.
Yeah.
Freeze dry banana pudding. That's on our list. With Thanksgiving coming up, I want to freeze dry pumpkin pie.
Oh, okay.
So I've watched people do it on their. They mix it all up,
right.
And then they use like an ice cream scoop, and then they put a little whipped cream on top, and then they pre-freeze it, and then you put it in the freeze dryer, and it comes out and just little pumpkin pie bites. You got on your nose.
That could be awesome.
But no, we've done so much candy because we're going to start selling it,
Right.
and that's a lot faster. I don't know if it's more money, but it's a lot faster.
Right.
Because candy typically the gummy worms go like 12 hours. Some of the freeze dried Skittles and stuff, they go for 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
But then you go into like bananas. We love some freeze dried bananas.
Those were good.
But it takes 24 to 48 hours on those.
Right.
So you really, with one freeze dryer, you're not able to get get an inventory of any kind to be,
Right.
you know, hey, I got 2 bags. And you call me back in a couple of days, I'll have 2 more bags.
Right.
So I don't think it goes as fast, but I've had fun with the candy. And like I was telling you earlier, being, I've always had a sweet tooth. Now I'm just kind of like, I think I'm okay. And so even at the house, I'm just like, you know, I crunch it to make sure it's, you know, as everything comes out. And of course I wear my gloves and all that other stuff, but I crunch it to make sure it's right. And then sometimes I'll bite into it. Most of the time it's just kind of crunch and yeah, that's good.
Right.
And I'm good. Or the family, or I bring some in here and be like, hey, here, try it.
Right.
I bring it to the bar too.
Yeah, I love it when you get new toys.
Yeah. I bring it to the bar too. I'm like, hey, try these.
Right.
These are good. Try these.
Right.
Job market in this area, everybody's hiring.
Still.
Yeah. Nothing's changed. There are lots of like AC companies. Whistler, I know they're looking for apprentices. It's paid apprenticeship. You know, Southern Trust. Everybody's hiring right now.
Yeah.
Whether you want to do a trade, you want to wait tables, you want to bartenders usually you don't get hired right off.
Right.
You got to start within the restaurant. But everybody's hiring.
Oh yeah.
So go find a job if you don't have one and need one.
Right. So things to do this weekend.
Whole lot of stuff again.
Yep. I mean, I love the outdoor stuff we've got in this area. We have the VIP night at Beaver Dam Farm Sunflower Festival. I think that's Saturday.
It is, yeah. I think it's throughout the weekend. I think it's Saturday and
is it?
Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
I watched a TikTok the other day, and a guy drove by a dam, and he's like, "I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I don't believe beavers built that." It's like a big concrete dam.
Concrete, yeah.
It's like I don't believe beavers built
Beaver
that.
Dam.
So Roanoke College men's soccer invitationals this weekend at Roanoke
Nice.
College. So if you like soccer, that's a definite place to head to.
Absolutely. Got Gospel Explosion 2023. Tasha Cobbs Leonard is having that at the Berglund Center.
I like to listen to gospel.
I've got to be in the mood for it, but yes.
Selena likes, there's a couple rappers that, like Christian rappers that Selena follows and, and likes. And then a guy I worked with at Verizon, Henry Bricky, he's a Christian rapper.
Oh, okay.
Who lives local and does a lot of stuff with his church and ministry and stuff like that.
Well, good.
I know on Wednesdays they have a drive-through pray line.
Hey,
That's
I don't
awesome.
care what gets you to the table as long as you come eat.
Right. Lux is asking if we have dispensaries in Virginia. We do.
We do. I think you still have to have a card to go in.
I think
or a
so.
script.
Yeah, you have to have something still to get there, but
Yeah.
we do have dispensaries. I know in Salem they have one. Roanoke has a couple.
Yeah.
I think there's. I talked to somebody the other day about this. I think there are 5 companies that have been approved in Virginia, and those are the ones with the dispensaries. So I know there's Rise. There's a couple other company names out there. But
And all the Navy joints out in Tidewater, I bet they're sprouting up like Dollar Generals.
So, but there are dispensaries out there, or here locally, and that has really. I mean, I think it's a good thing. It's really opened up a lot,
Right.
for this area. I know that's a good way to sleep sometimes. Taking some gummies.
And, you know, I don't think what you put in your body is my business. It's when you start causing other issues in order to feed it.
That's 100% right.
You
It's
know.
100% right. When your rights invade my rights, then we got a problem.
Right. Right.
Salem Red Sox versus the Mudcats this weekend. I think they're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe.
I believe so, and I think Sunday is the last. Is that the final home game?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think I read that somewhere, but I've been wrong before.
Seems like this season has gone by so quick.
It really has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like it has. There is also the Roanoke Run. It's a 5K for refugees, 2023 at Wasena Park.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and then mingle at the market at the Vinton Farmers Market with Fuzzy
With
Logic.
Fuzzy Logic.
I like Fuzzy Logic.
I do too.
Local band. They
And
play some
we
good
and we
music.
may be kid free. Mary and I may be able to make that.
Then you could head over to Rosie's afterwards.
There you
You'll
go.
be right in Benton.
That's right.
Go win some money.
Let's try, baby. Let's try.
Now, this is the next one's. I want to fly my drone there to get those photos. But what I may do Saturday, yes, I'll take my 360 camera out.
Okay. Out to Old Salem days.
Yep. Got Old Salem days this week. This Saturday, Selena has her shops in Salem.
Right.
She normally does not take appointments on Old Salem days, just because it's if you have other business in Salem, that's not a good day to go have that business in Salem.
Right.
Because they have Main Street blocked off from Longwood Park all the way down to the CVS.
Oh, wow.
And so all of Main Street's covered with vendors and got some great stuff there. So I may go up there just to be there and get some shots of Old Salem days. But yeah, that's this weekend.
Might be a good little walk for Mary and I.
Yeah.
Is she still here?
Yeah, I think so. We got like 4 people on here tonight.
Whoop, whoop.
Been rolling. What do we got here? The Mavericks with Paul Thorn Band to Cobb's Amphitheater at Smith Mountain Lake.
I'm not familiar with the Mavericks.
I'm not familiar with them either, or that there was a amphitheater at Smith Mountain Lake. I don't think.
Probably not. Yeah.
So, little bit is still here.
And this weekend, if I remember correctly, it's Saturday and Sunday, the 2023 Roanoke Taco Fest.
Oh, nice. I'd like to, it's 2 days, maybe?
I believe so.
Okay. Cool.
Again, I've been wrong before. I'll
like
probably be
some
wrong again
tacos.
before I get home.
Yeah, I like tacos.
And Mary wants to introduce me to street tacos.
Okay.
You know, so,
I like street tacos.
I bet street tacos will be at the Taco Fest.
Probably so. I make some burrilla.
Okay.
That you dip the taco in. It's I think a lot of times they use goat, but I usually use beef.
Right.
And cook down a roast with different types of peppers.
Okay.
And it cooks all day. And
Oh,
then I
wow.
take out the meat, and then I put the broth in. Well, actually, I use my immersion blender now. I used to put it in the Ninja Foodie.
Okay.
Chop it up.
The
But,
NutriBullet, the magic bullet.
Yeah, now I use the immersion blender, and I just roll right through it. And so all that stuff gets chopped up.
There you go.
And then you put it back in there, and then when you make your tacos, you skim off the top of the grease. It's not very healthy for you.
Huh.
And you put it in the
Yeah, because I'm
pan.
worried about,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
that's got to be healthy.
You put it in the pan and get it hot, and then you dip your tacos in there, and then you
okay.
brown them on each side.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. That's some good stuff.
Heck yeah.
A little bit said, y'all made burrito tacos at your house before.
Yeah, we have. Wasn't that part of meal prep?
Well, hell, I thought it was something new to them.
Well, I've not had to the best of my knowledge, a street taco. Now, it could be the same thing, and talking down my button.
Could be. The Buchanan triathlon
Right.
is downtown Buchanan this weekend. It's a run, ride, and a river race.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if they're swimming in the river race or they're
Or
kayaking.
rafting, yeah.
I don't know. It says a river race.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Daniel Barksdale's Sunday morning is at the Jefferson Center.
Okay. The stage play. And you got stargazing at Thomas Jefferson's Poplar Forest.
That'll be cool.
I bet that's going to be amazing.
But that drive home is not.
Yeah, no.
After
no.
the stargazing, I mean, that's a long drive. Even though it's just from Lynchburg to here. But
Right.
Still.
Yeah, but
And then.
depending on traffic.
Yep. Virginia Tech's playing the Boilermakers this
Nice.
weekend.
Okay.
This will probably be the one they lose then.
That would be my guess. They're going to be on the road. Gosh,
No, they're here. Aren't they here?
Well, I'm just reading it this way. Virginia
Yeah,
Tech
they're
versus
here.
the Boilermakers.
Yeah, they're here.
Okay. Okay. Well, then if you're driving through Christiansburg, Blacksburg, you'll hear the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I like when they have, and I don't know what time the game is Saturday. I like when they have the evening games
Right.
because they don't get out in time to come to McAdoo's.
Gotcha. Well, there's a McAdoo's not that far from them.
Yeah, absolutely. But when we get, like, if they have a 12 o'clock game, we'll usually get those people traveling back to Roanoke and getting food, and they come in usually in big groups.
Right.
And so it doesn't help the bar out a lot.
And didn't call ahead.
Yep, don't call ahead. And then it doesn't help the bar out too much because I don't have a lot of people coming in from the game sitting at the bar.
Right.
They come in groups and sit somewhere else. And so I'm making the drinks, but I'm not making any money for it. Yeah. But I like when they have the later games. Plus, I'm there at McAdoo's and I can kind of watch it too.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
If I'm at home, I'm doing something else.
Right.
I'm just too distracted.
Right.
To do that. Plans for the week? You going to the Taco Fest in the Old Salem days?
Hopefully, yep.
And then anything else?
Not really. Raiders. Shoot, who do we have? We open up against the Broncos on Sunday. Who do y'all open up against? Do you know?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
No. I'll know. On Sunday, I'll be looking for games and be like, okay, let me see.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think I have freeze drying stuff.
There you go.
Freeze drying stuff. I mean, I've got a new rental coming up. It's a duplex, so I have a new rental coming up this week. So I've got to get out there probably tomorrow and get pictures and things.
Okay.
It's on Church Avenue in Southeast. No, that's about it. Not a lot of craziness going on.
Okay.
Just here and a whole bunch of freeze drying. Now my garden's heading to the end, so we'll clear out over the next week or two. We'll clear out the backyard and let the chickens back out for the winter.
Right.
So they'll get the free range from the time I clean out the garden, and I won't clean out most of it. Like our beans are drying now on the vine.
Okay.
So we'll go out and get the beans off because we'll use those to plant for next year.
Right.
We still have some scraggling tomatoes coming through.
Man, I did. Groundhog went in last night or this morning before I got up. Every one of them gone.
Yeah, that's that's.
I'm gonna be out there looking like Bill Murray here in a week. You know, I'm gonna have tunnels dug.
Right.
We taking the gopher out.
Yeah, they keep digging under our fence. They're not getting our food as much anymore. They love the strawberries in the springtime, so that's why I built the fence around those. But yeah, they haven't been getting our tomatoes as much this year. Mm-hmm. Usually we'll find half-eaten tomatoes everywhere. Right. They don't even eat the whole dang thing. Now the deer have, knock on wood, stopped eating my tomatoes in the front yard. So now I'm starting to get tomatoes there. So I may have tomatoes all the way through the end of October if it doesn't frost. Right. Yeah, I'm starting to get some really nice Roma tomatoes out there, and then I think I have blueberry cherry tomatoes growing out front. Okay. And then it's time for me to get my lettuce and beans and all that planted out front for the winter. Right. So yeah, I think gardening, freeze drying, and working. That's about it. Lux wants to know, how did that happen with you being a Raiders fan? What made you a Raiders fan?
I grew up in Tidewater, and if you were going to watch football on Sunday, you were watching the Redskins. So I got a real deep disgust for the Redskins. Never had a problem with Joe Gibbs, but I just got tired of watching the Redskins. Had to. And at the end of the day, black and silver were the coolest colors I could come up with, too. So I ended up as an Oakland Raiders fan about 77, 78.
And the Raiders back then were
they
ruthless.
Oh yeah, we had Lyle Alzado and Howie Long, Van McElroy. They'd come sack the quarterback and then go look for his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were
so
ruthless.
Roids were a hell of a thing back then.
Yeah. I think all of my teams, and he says that's why he's a Cowboys fan too, because he got tired of the Redskins. But I think mine came from.
And I refuse to be a Steelers fan.
Yeah,
sorry,
I don't blame you, as you should. You should definitely. Is when I was a kid, I had a Reggie Jackson ball glove, so I'm a Yankees fan.
Okay.
I had a Roger Staubach football as a kid. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Right.
I was ball boy for Tech through part of junior high and a little bit of high school.
Right.
I'm a Hokies fan.
Right.
So I think I have reasons why. But what's funny is, I live here and I'm a Cowboys fan. My brother lives in Fort Worth, Texas. He's a Redskin fan.
Of course he is.
Yeah, been a Redskin fan his whole life.
Right.
But yeah, he's a Redskin fan. He said the backlights in your studio are red and blue. Is that LED lighting? It is LED lighting. It's kind of an orange, but when it hits off the brick, it makes it red.
Yeah.
And then, the blue, it is LED lights. They're like light sticks back there. And then our kids and JR Corvette stuff here. Like they can see my mouse.
Yeah.
I'm trying to point it out with my mouse here for you guys to show you what it is. And yes, he's a black sheep of the family because of that. He said, poor brother, being a Redskin fan. Well, it ain't even a Redskin now. It's like with the Commanders.
I think so.
Just Washington.
Well, yeah, because it was just the Washington football team.
So stupid.
Wow.
But a story, and I think I've talked about this before, the reason why the Cowboys are in the NFL is because of the Redskins. And I went to Dallas probably about 8 or 9 years ago and took the tour of the Cowboy Stadium. And actually, I think it was the year before it became AT&T Stadium.
Okay.
So I took a tour of the stadium, and the story they told with it was that the Redskins were the swing vote on whether the Cowboys made the NFL or not, whether they were going to be the new team.
Right.
And, well, the Redskins had not dotted their I's and crossed their T's. The Cowboys realized that they did not have any kind of trademark or copyright on Hail to the Redskins. The Cowboys copyrighted or trademarked Hail to the Redskins, and that was their negotiating tool to get into the NFL.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Get us in, we'll let you have your song back.
Right.
You don't get us in, and it's our song now. Right. And so that's how they were able to get into.
And it'll never be played in Irving, Texas.
Yeah. And so that's how the Cowboys were able to get into the NFL, was because they owned the rights to Hail to the Redskins.
Wow.
Because the Redskins didn't do it. So I think you got anything else for the night?
I don't believe I do.
I think we're good for the night. Until next week, everybody be safe.
And make good choices.